Hello friends, welcome to another video. Today's review is Angelfall by Susan E. I get that nicely there centered for you guys. I like that the cover kind of looks like metal wings, like a pin or something. It's hard to see exactly what they look like clearly, but it's kind of cool, like a pin put down on wood or something like that. It's young adult. I got it from my library, Stephenville Library in Newfoundland. If you live in Newfoundland, you can get this book through the interlibrary loan system, or if you're in Stephenville, obviously once I return it, check out your libraries. And I'll read the back blurb for you guys. It's been 6 weeks since angels of the apocalypse descended to demolish the modern world. Street gangs rule the day, while fear and superstition rule the night. When warrior angels fly away with a helpless little girl, her 17-year-old sister Penryn will do anything to get her back. Anything, including making a deal with an enemy angel. Raffi is a warrior who lies broken and wingless on the street. After eons of fighting his own battles, he finds himself being rescued from a desperate situation by a half-starved teenage girl. Traveling through a dark and twisted Northern Carolina, they have only each other to rely on for survival. Together they journey toward the Angels' stronghold in San Francisco, where Penryn will risk everything to rescue her sister, and Raffi will put himself at the mercy of his greatest enemies for a chance to be made whole again. This is Susan E.'s debut novel, but I feel like she's written more books since then. I have the whole trilogy here. This is called Book 1, Penryn and the End of Days. 2012. Anyway, I have the whole trilogy. And yeah. It's written in first person from Penryn's point of view, the whole book. And it's their journey. The unsuspecting... Rye, come here! Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I don't know if you could hear that in the background. He's yowling for something. So the main characters are Penryn, obviously, and her little sister is 7, and her name is Paige. And their mom is also involved. I don't think we actually learn her name. She's just their mom. Because it's Penryn's point of view, so they just call her mom. Then Raffi, obviously. And the main bad guy angel is Belial. Oh, I forgot. And the leader of the resistance, his name is Opie. I forgot about Opie. There's a few other characters as well. Oh, there's the twins in the Resistance are Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They've given themselves those names as twin teenage boys. They're comic relief. It's kind of cute. But yeah, I guess they play a semi-major role in the books. I feel like it's well written. There's good descriptions throughout the whole book. I don't notice any plot holes yet. We'll have to see how the rest of the series goes. The characters are really well developed. I find them very relatable. There's things... Penryn is the atypical, heroic teenage girl that you see in most books like this. It's definitely dystopian fantasy, because the angels, obviously, post-apocalyptic world. Raffi has his own characters and everything. It's the bad guy that you learn to like, because he's not really a bad guy. There's always that twist, right? You know, like bad guys, there's always that rebellion within the bad guys, plus the actual rebellion against the core of them, the one that switches sides. Now, I don't know if Raffi actually fully switches sides or not throughout the whole series, because we don't really know his whole story yet. I would say age group 13 plus, because I mean it does deal with some traumatic fighting and wounds and stuff like that. There's no real romance or anything in it, although I think maybe some romance will bloom between Penryn and Raffi. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see how the future books goes. I'm not sure about that one. It definitely gave me some emotion, not a ton, but like you get that disgust from some of the monsters in it and things like that, and the stress that she goes through. Like, you feel empathy for her for some of the situations that she's in. I would compare it reminds me like any dystopian book that you've ever read, like Hunger Games or the Divergent series, but it kind of also reminds me of The Host by Stephanie Myers, where it's actually the humans against an invading force that's not human, because the Host is about aliens, except they're not. The angels obviously aren't parasitic like the aliens in Host are. The Host. If you haven't read that one, that's a good one too. As opposed to like the Hunger Games or the Divergent series, which are quite popular, and I feel a lot of people have read those ones. I'm trying to remember the girl's name in the Divergent series. Oh, it does. It'll come to me later. The ending is a little bit of a cliffhanger, but all of the main characters, are alive. So that's important. All the main characters are alive, but it's a bit of a cliffhanger because there's more to the book happening. A big battle just happened. We just sort of leave it at the end of that, and they leave things hanging in the air. We'll have to read the next one to find out. I devoured this in a day. It's not a very thick book, and the writing is average size writing. The chapters are really short. I think that's it. Of all the things to talk about, I'm trying to think if I've covered everything that I usually talk about. I'm always forgetting something when I talk about the books. I'm trying to do a fair review, and I always forget something. I feel like my theme, this is totally on accident, because the last book I reviewed, if you're watching my book reviews in order that I've released them, and since a lot of my followers are new, because I'm a new channel, when this video is released, obviously, you're watching them as I release them. The last one was also about angels or men with wings, and it's kind of funny because I got them at the same time, but I totally wasn't picking a theme when I got the books. They were just books that were on my to-be-read list, and they just all happened to be books about teaming up with angels, which is kind of funny. After I read book 2 and 3, I'll put the description, the link for those books in the description box below. The actual rating. I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. See the main point. The actual rating. 4 out of 5 stars. It exceeded my expectations. The writing is great. The plot was interesting and engaging. I found the pace very fast, or steady pace. Lots of action. Kept me interested. Definitely a page turner. I really liked it. I'm not sure if I will reread them or not. It depends. See, now I say that, I kind of think I want to reread them. If I'll actually get around to rereading them is another matter. There's a lot of books I would love to reread, but I don't know if I'll actually get around to rereading them, if that makes any sense. Anyway, waving the book around like a mad person. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the other books in the series when I get them done. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.